Emo pa obetena brochire pa na when you scan show family be yo. Just imagine, you know, sometimes and yet chimodin from the people amuwa brochire yet chimodin. Na ordering say this world no oba benyeska we are no aboa. But yet they be and do us how life goes on is I believe you can create your destiny. I believe you can create your destiny. You can kind of have an idea what you want and target that. I think you can, and you can change direction. But obviously, until you get to that point, you might not know you can, and so therefore, it can affect you. I would say that whatever situation you're in, you can change it tomorrow. But the reason why I put on this video was there's a lot of people, especially back home, that might think that people are not looking to help out because they're mean. But ABR, not over the years, and it creeps up on you just like that. Especially when you're aware of yourself, when you're aware about it can creep up on you. And if you don't take care, you might judge them thinking that they were just being mean and stuff like that. I think how society have gone is the concept of how people interact with family and marriage is also changed. So what's happened is instead of you having created, I think this is how it should be. You should have your family that you grew up with, and your responsibility is to make sure that whoever your siblings and your parents are, you create wealth within. That's your real family, right? But when you have children and marriage, obviously the other person also their responsibility is towards them and their family. That way, I think that could work. What's be happening now is you almost once you kind of get to a point and you marry, you start again, you start afresh, and that's what makes you kind of take a while to start off because now you're now an adult and you start again, and wherever your parents were, um, their family, hopefully they would have left you something, but if they didn't have it, then there would be a problem because they didn't have any place to give you. So I think also the wider family could help. The reason why I mentioned that is I've literally just seen this and popped on my TikTok, and the lady was talking about how they've built units with their sister, and I thought about it and I thought, yeah, just imagine, you siblings together built something together as a group, as a unit. And I'm sure it probably happened because I was speaking to one Nigerian guy that Nigerians are just one of the cleverest people, man, that I was doing a course with, and he was telling me how him and his cousins are building like an apartments, and he was showing me the design of it and what he was trying to do in their country. And I thought about it and I thought that's really cool. And when this ladies thing popped up as well, I thought, yeah, that could be done instead of kind of starting. Or I know someone might say you can build it. Um, well, you can certainly do the same thing with your partner anyway. But in Europe, yeah, or where societies become now, everyone's individual now. Even within people marriage, people still individual. So what's happening is people are still doing their own thing, and when the kid grows up, the kid also end up having their family and also doing their own thing as well. That's what's happening. And obviously, for men, you have to be careful because when the kid grows up and chooses their family and just deals with their woman only, you're going to be left stranded. Just remember that. So, as a man, you have to also think about your end point. What kind of lifestyle, what kind of ending that you want, basically. Because by the time you realize you're in your final third, by the time you realize, because that's if you don't have a blueprint and a plan, and I think that's where the family bit comes in. Over centuries, you have to have a blueprint. Say, a family, this is what we do. This is the standard we want to live. This is where we invest. This is our house. Why go back in Africa and build your own place? And I was watching another guy on YouTube also as well, and he was talking about how he was old enough, and so therefore he wanted to go back home and build his own place and everything. And I like the guy and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Why not take wherever building that your parents had and align to it? One guy had done that, and he's rented his parents' place as an Airbnb. You don't have to go back and rebuild. Why go and rebuild something? Why not just build where? And one of my friends were talking about how they're looking to kind of, and I'm thinking to myself, hold on, they're looking to build in another place as well. I'm thinking, hold on, why? You got loads of family land there. Why go there? And if your parents' land, obviously, now, why go there and why go and build another building? You're putting an extra headache yourself. You're like 45 now. Now you're gonna start. Why not use that building wherever it is and bring value to the place and attract tourism, or just live? So that's rent taken care of. Then you can start business. Why go and build somewhere again? So what was the point of your parents building them? And I'm talking about this before I end. All the people here that think they can't go home and everything, consider all these things. Your mom and dad, go and renovate it or build a little section of it and stay there. If you don't want to stay in the whole Abusian field, but your parents have got something, why start something again? Why is everyone looking to kind of start something new? Now, if you're like some of us that didn't have that, or that's not an option, but yeah, I see it. But for example, who your business at? Why not siblings join together? Why does one person have to go and do one thing, another person have to do another thing as well? Um, Talking about business, I think there's a lot of potential for people to kind of join together. But that's another whole new topic anyway, because trust and everything comes into play. But we'll talk about this anyway in another time anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that um, people back home or people here kind of need to kind of explain a bit better for people to understand that. And yet, we just, because I remember, I know one guy, their family, his dad was one of the few people to have gone abroad, earliest in 60s, 70s, wherever. And so everyone looked to him. It was like a big deal. And it never quite materialized. And so therefore they always looked down on them. But you just didn't earn enough. You just mathematically didn't earn enough, financially didn't earn enough for there to be surplus enough to come and go back home. Obviously, people see abroad different, and that's a whole new topic. And I try to convey how it is a bit here, but when the mind is gone, it's gone. I don't even waste time. You can always do these videos to try and enlighten people, but once they think somewhere is heaven, that's it. But we're still not going to stop explaining to people. Hopefully people will understand in future that it's not all that it seems to be. You might be comfortable enough to wear clothing and have your meal, but it doesn't mean you've got enough. And so therefore that's why you couldn't help or for or parents or thing like that, because you was hoping to get to that point, but you never quite got there. All right.